The massive crystal spires of the Bright One's central medical facility sparkled under the light of their twin suns. Inside the tallest tower, First Healer Tom worked quietly at his station, his translucent fingers moving across the control panel as he studied the latest medical breakthrough his people had achieved. The Bright Ones were known across the galaxy for their incredible healing abilities and peaceful nature. Their slender, nearly transparent bodies housed minds capable of understanding the deepest secrets of medicine and biology. The calm of the medical facility shattered as warning lights began flashing across every screen. Tom's assistant, Ree, rushed into the room, his crystalline form trembling with fear. First Healer, multiple ships have entered our system. They're not responding to our welcome messages. Tom moved to the main viewing screen, his gentle movements betraying none of the worry he felt inside. The scanner showed over 90 warships entering their home system, their designs matching the dreaded Swarm Coalition. Everyone in the galaxy knew about the Swarm. They were pirates and raiders who stripped entire worlds bare, caring nothing for the lives they destroyed. "How long until they reach our planet?" Tom asked, his voice steady despite the situation. 3 hours at their current speed, Ree replied, checking the calculations twice. "Our outer colonies are already reporting visual contact." The Bright Ones had no weapons. They had no warships. Their entire civilization focused on healing and peace. The few defense shields they maintained were designed to protect against solar radiation, not military weapons. Tom reached for the emergency broadcast controls. As First Healer, he spoke for their entire species in times of crisis. His fingers danced across the panel, activating every communication channel they had. "This is First Healer Tom of the Bright Ones. We are broadcasting on all frequencies to any civilized species within range. The Swarm Coalition has entered our system with a fleet of warships. We are a peaceful people. We have no means of defense. Our world holds the combined medical library of the galaxy, containing cures for over 10,000 diseases. We have helped heal millions across hundreds of worlds. Please, we request immediate assistance." The message repeated, broadcasting in every known language and spreading out across the stars at faster-than-light speeds through the galaxy's communication network. Minutes passed. The swarm ships grew closer. A harsh voice cut through their communications. "This is Commander Black of the Swarm Coalition. Your world has been chosen. Surrender your resources and submit to our authority. Resistance will result in planetary bombardment. You have 1 hour to comply." Tom looked at the frightened faces of his people gathering in the medical facility's main hall. The Bright Ones had always believed in peace, in healing, in making the galaxy a better place. Now that very peace threatened to be their downfall. "Keep broadcasting," he ordered Ree. "Someone must hear us. Someone must come." Far away, at the edge of known space, a human deep space monitoring station picked up the Bright One's desperate call. Lieutenant Jack sat up straight in his chair, his coffee forgotten, as he listened to the message. He knew about the Bright Ones. Their medical knowledge had helped cure his sister's rare disease just last year. His fingers flew across the keyboard, marking the message as Priority 1 and forwarding it directly to Earth Defense Command. The automated systems calculated the threat level, processing the mention of the Swarm Coalition and their known tactics. Within minutes, alarms were ringing across Earth's military installations. The humans, still relatively new to the galactic community, had been waiting for a chance to prove themselves. Classified as Deathworlders due to Earth's high gravity and harsh conditions, they had been viewed with suspicion by many alien species. Now, someone needed help, and if there was one thing humans were good at, it was fighting to protect others. As the swarm ships closed in on the Bright One's homeworld, they had no idea that Earth's 7th Fleet was already spinning up their engines. They had no idea that the supposedly primitive humans they had dismissed as unimportant were about to show the galaxy exactly what a species evolved on a death world could do. The swarm fleet descended on the Bright One's outer colonies, their weapon systems tearing through the minimal shielding with cruel efficiency. Fires raged across settlements as civilians fled, their crystalline forms glittering like falling stars amidst the chaos. In the capital city, First Healer Tom watched helplessly from the observation deck. Their pleas for aid had yet to receive a response. Time was running out. First Healer, Rhys said, his voice breaking. Reports indicate the swarm is capturing survivors. They're harvesting them? The words hung in the air, heavy with dread. The Bright Ones' bioluminescent bodies carried unique properties, making them valuable to unscrupulous factions for medical experimentation and exploitation. Tom closed his eyes, his heart heavy with despair. We cannot allow them to take our people. If they reach the capital, he trailed off, unwilling to voice the unthinkable. Suddenly, the broadcast room came alive with activity. A series of rapid beeps indicated an incoming signal. Rhys scrambled to identify the source. It's human. The signal is from Earth. Put it through, Tom said, his voice trembling with a mix of hope and disbelief. A gruff, commanding voice filled the room. This is Admiral Bennett of the United Earth 7th Fleet. We've received your distress call and are en route to your system. Hold the line, we'll be there in 2 hours. Tom could hardly believe it. Humanity, the newcomers to the galactic stage, had answered their call. But 2 hours might as well have been an eternity with the swarm already at their doorstep. Admiral Bennett, Tom replied, his voice resolute despite the dire situation. We are grateful beyond words. But the swarm is advancing rapidly. If they reach the capital before your arrival, we won't let that happen, the Admiral interrupted. We've deployed advanced drones to intercept and delay their fleet. Prepare to evacuate your people to secure zones. We'll handle the rest. Across the stars, Earth's 7th Fleet raced toward the Bright One's homeworld. Comprised of heavily armed dreadnoughts, carriers, and frigates, the fleet was a testament to human adaptability and ingenuity. Unlike many galactic species, humanity had mastered warfare on every front, from planetary skirmishes to deep space engagements. As they entered the system, Admiral Bennett addressed his crew. The Bright Ones are healers, not fighters. The swarm thinks that makes them weak. We're about to prove them wrong. Ready all weapon systems and prepare the Aegis drones for deployment. Let's remind the galaxy why they call us Deathworlders. The battle began before the fleet even arrived. A wave of Aegis drones emerged from hyperspace ahead of the main fleet, their sleek forms darting between the swarm ships. Equipped with advanced AI and experimental plasma weaponry, the drones unleashed a storm of firepower, drawing the enemy's attention and buying precious time for the Bright Ones. In the capital city, Tom and Rhys coordinated evacuation efforts, guiding their people to underground shelters. The skies above them lit up with streaks of energy as the swarm unleashed their fury on the drones. For the first time in hours, the Bright Ones felt a flicker of hope. When the 7th Fleet finally dropped out of hyperspace, the tide of the battle shifted decisively. The lead dreadnought, UNS Resolute, opened fire with its main cannons, sending a barrage of kinetic projectiles and energy beams into the heart of the swarm fleet. Frigates swarmed around enemy vessels, their smaller size allowing them to outmaneuver the lumbering swarm ships. On the command deck of the Resolute, Admiral Bennett directed the battle with precision. Target their carriers first. Cut off their ability to deploy reinforcements. Fighters, form up and keep the pressure on their flanks. We need to box them in. The swarm, accustomed to overwhelming their enemies with brute force, found themselves outmatched. Human tactics combined adaptability with sheer aggression, exploiting every weakness in the enemy's formation. Within an hour, the swarm fleet was in disarray, their ships either destroyed or in retreat. As the last enemy vessel fled the system, cheers erupted across the Bright One's capital. The 7th Fleet had not only saved their world, but had also shown the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. In the aftermath, Tom stood before a gathering of his people, his crystalline form glowing with gratitude. Admiral Bennett appeared on a holographic screen, his stern expression softening slightly as Tom addressed him. "Admiral, words cannot express the depth of our gratitude. You have not only saved our people, but have reminded us that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found." Bennett nodded. "We just did what needed to be done, First Healer. But this isn't just about today. The swarm won't stop, and neither will we. Humanity stands with the Bright Ones, now and always." As the Seventh Fleet prepared to depart, a sense of unity spread across the galaxy. The Bright Ones' desperate call had been answered, and in doing so, a powerful alliance had been forged. The galaxy would remember this day, not just as the day the swarm was defeated, but as the day the healers and the fighters stood together to protect what was precious.